because mid lane gets a little bit more spicy, a little bit more diverse here. So I want to see, you know, Saint was covering other stuff like Akali, you know, previously, and now you get some time to actually use those types of champions. Funnily enough, Callme to me had one of the best Akali performances that we have had all year of an LCS mid laner.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of good combinations are available here.
I think Callme has been quietly very good. I think, you know, he is a big part of DSG's success thus far. Already locked playoffs. That's awesome for them. That is a big win for them. And I was going to mention, you know, we've gotten through a lot of these meta AD junglers. Zhao obviously got a little bit of a buff in the patch, so that one is rising in priority. But there's still things like Jarvan is still up and available. We've seen Qiyana, we've seen some Lee Sin. So there are obviously other AD junglers that you can go to.
Yeah, and we get the presumably Castle Aurora because he does like it, but it's flex pick. It's a flex pick here. And put some pressure on those solo lanes. Meanwhile, some Lucian, possibly Nami.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to go Nami on 3 here, if they want to respond to a potential pick. Also, we touched on jungle. You know, that could get pinched pretty heavily if they do not go for an AD jungler here, and you want to have an AD jungler in the mix. Could be a couple bans thrown their way by LYON. Worth noting, though, that even though DSG is locked for playoffs, winning would start them in the upper bracket, which is very important. So, of course, still really hunting for that series win here on the side of DSG. And we are getting the Berserker Classic. This is the champion I associate most with him by far. When he first came into the league, was like peak Zeri gaming. He was getting pentakills. He was racking up wins left and right on Cloud9. And it is Lulu Zeri, absolute throwback to when he first joined the league.
And honestly, I love Lulu as in also. So yeah, this line opening set for their draft here is very comfortable. Very comfortable picks.
I feel like if I'm LYON, I really would like to ban out Jarvan, because not only is Jarvan an AD jungler, but it's also a form of engage, right? And you are a bit light on engage when you do go this enchanter route, so being able to take that away could be quite nice. There's also obviously tank engage options up on the top side, like you can go towards Ornn or something like that if you want, but we haven't seen Ksante played yet, so I'm pretty sure someone's going to play Ksante.
The only thing with Jarvan is he doesn't put a ton of pressure on Zeri, so
fair.
maybe they're like Berserker. You're going to carry this game for us. Anything you want banned, buddy? It looks like the first ban probably wasn't Berserker saying, get Gwen out of my face. That was probably Dhokla.
Maybe it was. You know, the Shroud's pretty annoying.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to get a pentakill, buddy. What's up with this Shroud?
Yeah, immune? Hell no.
No. Not in my book. Get that thing out of here. So a couple mid lane bans getting thrown down towards Saint. So going to be taking away some of these control mages. Of course, Aurora could be top, could be mid. You know, really could go either way for Callme or Castle. But the mid lane options are going to be narrowed down quite a bit.
I like it. And the bans are pushing them more towards some exciting assassin, get your hands dirty types of picks. Ban a couple of these control mages. All right. Raise that priority. All right, Jarvan still does get banned.
Yeah, I mean, even if you can't go for Zeri, I always feel like when you're playing as an enchanter against it, it's pretty terrifying. I'm not going to lie. You just get ulted, he flag and drags out. If you don't have flash, you are just cooked. As Sajed is, we're finding out his hover. His hover is Renata, so we got to find out the lore on the Renata hover, but usually it's a shout out to a girlfriend or something like that. So we'll see what they are going to consider locking. Mundo could be kind of fun as both a potential flex. Again, it could be jungle or top, but of course in pro play it's mostly just been jungle. I do think Mundo top can work quite well though, so there are some potential flexes here. The Aurora could be moved around potentially, the Mundo could be moved around potentially, but we are kind of assuming that they're going to go more standard spots.
Okay, so gonna have to get the reveal on both solo laners here, regardless of who will go against Aurora. Gotta pick something that could take either of the matchups. And they feel fine with Cassio. Wow, this team, I mean, Cassio pumps, Zeri pumps. I mean,
Lulu pumps shields.
I was gonna say Xin even kind of pumps when you got a Lulu backing you up too, so.
Surprise, surprise, Ksante probably gonna be the option here.
Very
as I
versatile.
said, yeah, it just kind of fits in everything. And There is very little engage, though, honestly, on both teams thus far. Like, yeah, you can have Aurora throw down an ulti to kind of start a fight, Nami wave and whatnot, and culling, sure. Zin can jump in and kind of start a fight out, but there's not like pick tools really per se, right? So we'll see where they are going to go and if this is going to be Mundo top or not. I think Mundo into tank matchups is super strong because you generally outscale them all and they usually can't punish you enough in the early lane. So if there were a game to go Mundo top, I think this could be a pretty good one. We'll see though. Oh, Jayce, so it's still flex. It could be Jayce jungle, could be Jayce top, could be all kinds of stuff. We're going to find out where they are going to end up going. There are only like 4 Mundo games top in Pro so far this year, and there's been a lot of jungle ones. So jungle is the expected, and it looks like that is going to be what it is. Cryer going to be piloting the Mundo. Jayce receiving some nerfs on the Shock Blast, some buffs on the melee form, if I recall correctly, and that's going to be going mid.
Okie dokie, yeah. Taking on some monster damage, but also taking some of the regular damage too. So we'll see how much that does affect him. And if Cryer can do some Velia, some lesser tone cosplay here with this Mundo, walk him down, see if you can get your farming going, scale up nicely, become nice and beefy. I mean, a lot of poke too, because Lucian Nami provides you poke on your team. Jayce provides you huge poke on your team coming from mid lane here. And so there is a lot of potential on even some early power spikes.
Yeah. For
this team to poke you out. I mean, mid control seems really good there when you could have Shock Blast coming from downtown. You know, that's 30% of your HP. Lucian Nami, as soon as Nami's got the mandate and Lucian has whatever he has at that point, it's totally fine too. it'll be enough.
He's got some swords, he slapped them together.
Yeah, it'll be enough to chunk
it'll
you.
Get her done.
Throw out a culling there. So you do have to be worried about getting poked out, I think, in the mid game by this DSG lineup, because if you do sustain a lot of that damage, but guess what? Invisible Rabbit comes hopping down, and they go for the engage with the Aurora there. Aurora, maybe the slow and ult is enough to get a Nami wave going for them. So we'll see.
Interesting tech here for Dhokla on the top side. Going to be playing Aftershock instead of playing Grass, so still wants to be in that defensive tree, but feeling like you're not going to be able to really trade with Grass autos and stuff on the Aurora, which I think is totally true. So if you're saying, I'm not going to get Grass procs throughout the lane, Aftershock is going to do more in an all-in, right? You know, you go all out, you proc it, you hit a Pathmaker, you proc it. So I think that actually does make some sense, given that a good Aurora player will just not allow you to be autoing them.
Yeah, keep that distance, play the distance. Honestly, looking at the distance here too, both first early Qs from Saint hit. 2 for 2 on the Noxious Blasts, harassing the Jayce while CSing.
Yeah, and that really is kind of what Cassio lanes come down to. If you don't hit the Qs, you don't deal any damage.
Every blast counts.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Don't minimize any of these blasts. They're each important, and we'll see how he's going to be able to perform as Callme does backstep that one. He's going to be playing Phase Rush, of course. Helps a lot to be able to get out of Miasma, and when you're not playing against any team that has like true hard CC, hard engage, Phase Rush is just insane value all the time.
Yeah, people are wondering, all right, are the nerfs, you know, people still going to use this thing, still going to have value on range champs?
Every game.
Yep.
Turns out.
Yep, pretty good still.
Going fast, being immune to the slows, pretty damn good as Callme goes in for a little bit of a trade, but Saint is dictating the laning phase thus far.
Conqueror stacking up, speaking of which, for Saint, and Saint aggressively popping the Ghost as he had stacked up some Conqueror stacks here, wanted to push Castle away.
Ooh, Callme getting way too greedy there. I mean, he walked in, that was a freebie that he gave him. Saint is already standing on the minion that you're trying to walk up and hit for that last hit, and allows you to just kind of pre-Q it. And now he could look for a potential all-in. If he hits one more Q, he will go forward.
I like that. Stand in front of the cannon. He knows you can't CS the cannon walking up, so he'll try and shock blast it, and Saint has enough HP, just face tanks it, denies the cannon.
Yeah, this feels horrible for Callme right now. The minions are kind of getting into that weird spot. He's missing all of the melees because they were kind of weird health amounts there. And this matchup going to be pretty important, has been pretty important throughout the series so far. Saint, obviously someone who's been getting a lot of criticism, to be clear, and Callme, someone who has been kind of, I think, a big standout for his team.
Yeah, definitely has been true previously. This game starting out pretty Saint favored, though.
Yep.
That's what you get when you eat too much poison, Azael. Keep your poison intake low.
Eating that.
He's
part of the food pyramid.
Mundo, you should just get back into your next clear. Yeah, there you go. It was fishing for an easy recall interrupt, but if he doesn't see Cassio immediately, it's like, I tried, buddy. No interrupt on the recall for you.
Only going to find Inspired here. Inspired does have a
shock
smite,
blast
so is he going to try to get it last second? Doesn't quite get it as Inspired reacts with the smite. And also, I think he had it body blocked enough. I don't think the splash would have reached that, but nice little attempt from Callme. And Inspired could go around behind him. Even if you just get a bit of damage down, it would be pretty annoying, but going to be able to spot the Mundo over on his Krugs.
The corporate... wait a second.
What was this? Isles is just walking up and might end up dying. That was really close as the heal had to come through from Isles. We didn't see what kind of prompted that, but I guess they were low on mana. Maybe he wanted to walk up and try to stop some bases and try to get an advantage that way. Berserker did go back to base, so I think that's exactly what happened is Isles was just trying to go forward, trying to harass them, make them get locked in lane, because Sajed now is and has no buy. So now he can put no pressure on Berserker. Berserker can walk up no problem and farm a plate here.
Honestly, since Isles didn't die, just spending your heal for that, and good. The Lucian is out of mana here, honestly, good. He just gets to go for his base anyway, and Berserker alone at the tower able to work off first turret plate.
It was a risky bet, but it paid off, you know? It's like when you just close your eyes, buy some Bitcoin back in 2005, you know? Back then, it was looking pretty risky.
PSA, we don't give financial advice here.
I give financial advice to people in 2005. Buy some Bitcoin.
I give time travel financial advice. Yeah, for sure.
I do give that. Yeah. I'm quite confident. But maybe the timeline changes and then Bitcoin's not worth anything. And then they travel back in time and kill us as, you know, little people or something.
Who caused that wrinkle? That branch in the timeline?
Who knows?
Unfortunate for us.
So never mind. Don't buy it. Time travel.
Well, Lucian's not getting any sort of money because walking back right now, some minions are dying to the old tower there. So Riot just going to spend some more face time here in mid lane.
Yeah, he's got nothing to farm right now, so just kind of waiting for that bot side scuttle to come up, and Saint going to be able to chase him out. Callme getting pressured pretty heavily. There is more minions for him to farm there, but he will, of course, still be down in some CS. And will equalize a little bit, but not a big deal as long as things don't go from bad to worse. You know, if he doesn't die without this flash being up, he's probably fine.
I do think this has been quite good for Saint though. Like talking about some of some of the errors that have been that I've seen. This one has been very good. The pressure early. I love denying the cannon. You know, getting some good chunks out of him. And
time to brawl.
Wait a second.
Crab
is up.
The big crab as Inspired just going to go right in onto Kryra. Kryra's kind of sectioned off from the rest of the team. He's going to have to flash, you have to think. Instead, just trying to walk it out, but Saint is coming in, has the ghost pop. Kryra very low. The ulti not going to connect onto anyone. Nice slow, though, onto Kryra as he flashes out. I don't think Inspired wants to take that back in. Callme maybe just going to get chased down, missing that flash. Isles flashes in. Can they get a kill back? Yes, they can. First blood, though, goes to Berserker. And that season... from last season, didn't give you any bonus gold. This time, it is quite a nice chunk of change there for Berserker. That
was such a worthwhile flash and sacrifice from Isles to get the last hit for Berserker on the kill. And yeah, so Crab's taking a lot of damage. Look at Saint Ghost now. So Saint wrapping around here on the Cassio, flash miasma into the ultimate to slow, and they force the flash out of Kryra, and Callme gets kind of stuck here. But then as the bubble lands, the peel is there, and Isles says, I'm going to send for it. Callme goes back in, and it actually ends up perfectly for LYON, allowing Berserker to get that last hit, and influx of gold. And it is terrifying. You know, you said you had memories of Berserker on Zeri when this champ was first released, and it was mega busted, going for pentakills all over the place. You know, it's always his comfort zone here. It's Zeri plus a Lulu. He's got early money. We have seen this recipe result in lots of team fight victories later on in games for Berserker. It was when he was wearing Cloud9 blue, but still could be true here. Absolutely could. And Callme, as a result of that lane pressure, you can kind of thank Saint for that kill, honestly, because he forced the flash, and the flash was not back up when he went down. So that lane pressure in the 1v1, you know, I thought, hey, maybe it's not going to matter too much. Ends up getting in a fight right around that scuttle, wasn't up. And thanks to Saint's 1v1 prowess early on, Berserker is able to cash in on that first blood. All right, thanks all around then. Good effort. Good hustle, everybody.
Out there, team.
Isles, flash over, sacrifice.
Throw up the in-game fist bump, you know?
Yeah,
are you a fist bumper?
I am. I always answer.
Yeah.
I'll instantly answer. Anybody fist bumps for any reason, I'm in there. I don't usually start them, though.
Oh, I'm
an answer.
Okay, yeah. You're like, it's maybe you're doing a little too much, but you're going to go on with it.
The only one I only spam one, and it's the Braum Keck W.
That's a good
regardless of good or bad plays.
Yeah, it does fit. It's an all-arounder for sure. I will say, my success rate in games where I press the fist bump and all my random teammates respond to the fist bump at the very start, like if you get a penta bump to start off the game,
you're feeling confident.
You're feeling confident. It's going to be a dub.
Yeah. They're coming to help you on Dragon. You know, they're going to objectives.
Yeah.
They got you.
Penta bump is definitely where it's at. But when you go in and you get like no responses and it just turns to thumbs up.
Do you deafen?
That's depression. Yeah, that's.
As soon as you get no fist bumps, all right, I'll mute deafen. I'm out of here.
Tap out, get a movie going. You already know how this game's going to turn out.
All right, well, teleport back up to the grubs here side, and Kryra, the businessman, is on the way as well. See who can get the Phalites first. Oh, they both get it. Inspired's technically first, but it doesn't matter because they both saw them go down.
Yeah, Callme does have first move, but Saint is behind him, and they could try to collapse onto Callme. They do. Forces the flash there. Inspired fighting against Kryra. Nice little use of the passive, going to be able to stay alive for now, but Inspired with the ulti is just sustaining through Kryra's damage. Kryra trying to heal up as fast as he can with this ulti, but he is going down in a hurry, barely staying alive for now as Dhokla arrives. In comes the rest of the team. Castle is here as well. Saint is incredibly low. Callme trying to finish him off. Castle gets a kill. The reset's coming through now for the Aurora as everyone's getting taken out. Dhokla flashes forward. Kryra survives. It's a triple for Castle, and Kryra, who looked like he was going to go down at the very start of the fight, stays alive, and Castle gets paid.
That is insane. Okay, look minimap right now. Aurora is basing for a purchase. Castle right now is looking, and he's going to teleport in straight from base with a fresh purchase. So even though Kryra is getting so low here, and Saint goes for one more, it's not enough. Look at that healing. Mundo barely keeping it up. And he's able to walk out too because the Aurora creates so much space. On arriving here, Castle, fresh purchase, Aurora ultimate, off of his teleport.
That one hurts. I mean, and Saint even spent the ult on the Jayce instead of the Mundo because I think he thought he was guaranteed dead, so he didn't use the damage. Jayce is jumping in, and Kryra is pumped up. I mean, he landed.
He got to live. He was like, oh, new lease on life.
He thought he was cooked. He's not going to.
Yeah, honestly, I take back my earlier advice. If you're Mundo, then you can eat as much poison as you want, I guess.
Turns out, just bait. Well, Mundo, it does kind of make sense.
Yeah. He like does that for fun.
Yeah, exactly. He went down to 1 HP, apparently. Literal number 1.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
That's tough. That is a tough one to take for sure. Because when he was taking the poison, he threw a cleaver, which cost health, right? And he went down, I think, right there, probably to 1.
You know what's more tough, though? Dealing with Castle's Aurora that is post 3 kills.
Yes.
You're going to get a triple kill here for Castle's Aurora off of a really good buy already.
Have fun, Dhokla.
Holy! Leandri's is already done. Big Dokes is like, please give me every little bit of magic resist I can possibly get my hands on.
Yeah, this is tough. It's like, you saw the Thanatos Ksante build from last week? All the chains and cloaks?
Yeah, that was...
This is just going to be cloaks. He's just filling it up with cloaks.
He's like, hey, there's a Jayce and Lucian on the other side. I don't care.
I don't care, buddy.
You're not in this lane.
You're not living with me on this one. The Mundo passive going to be able to eat the Petrifying Gaze, but nice sidestep with the Ghost. Will keep Saint safe. Inspired. Connects that Wind Becomes Lightning onto Callme, but not going to be able to kill him.
Another round. Oh, minions.
Oh, got him. Bends the bullet.
In the butt again.
Yep, and has the MasterCard Power Spike to boot, as he does have that Heartsteel now completed, so gets a stack on the gank, which really is a dub when you think about it.
Do love that.
Nice calling coming out here. Kryra moving down as well, just keeping it moving. Callme is behind him. Will they go for the dive? Mundo does have the ult to tank it up if they want to push this in, but the minions are very far away. This is going to take too long, I think. So Callme just going to go back to base. They looked for the angle, couldn't find it, but do relieve a little bit of pressure. Interesting as well, Sajed going to be going for the Stormrazor here on that rush.
Okay, so only a minute till Dragon. Kryra's going to grab Scuttle Crab ahead of time, no problem. His topside camps are up, So you've got 50 seconds to work with here. You definitely want to get the Raptors and red buff, and then we'll see DSG if they want to get down there, because a lot of the DSG lead is actually isolated up here with Castle, and without the top laners having teleports to join. Yeah, it's great for Castle up there in the 1v1, but it does mean Berserker, remember the Zeri, also got early money and has finished the Storm Razor himself. So Berserker Zeri down here at the Dragon fight. Let's see if Lion feel confident in this one. He's got his barrier, he's got his flash. Same thing for the other side, but if they get early vision, if they get some priority here, maybe they cook. Mundo's going back to base, and there's only 10 seconds left on this Dragon. Both junglers actually just resetting, so it won't be any sort of an early timer on this one. Previously in this series, we've been on strict timers for our Dragons.
Yeah, it has been really fast stacks.
But yeah, this one will be delayed a bit.
Yeah, we'll be delayed quite a bit. I mean, we were at 3 Dragons last game for DSG at 17 minutes, right? So we're very far away from that. I do wonder if Sajed is going to have mana problems without the Essence Reaver rush. I saw Doggo do this build the other day, and you get the move speed, so it's like you can throw down an auto, get the bonus move speed, use that with your culling to kind of reposition it. But we will see as they are on the Dragon here. Kryra trying to step forward, trying to create some space. Castle's still not here, so I think they're just going to back it up.
Yeah, for sure. Dhokla said, I'm not going in that lane again. I had enough of the Aurora up there. I'll come play for team. I'm playing for you guys. I'm going to come down to the bottom side.
That's
towers.
smart.
By the way,
you can blame your team, too, if you lose. You're like, didn't you see it? I'm roaming for that Dragon.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
The tower is gone up there, and it, first tower of the game.
But Saint's going there, so you can blame him.
I like that.
Fair.
Always look for someone else to blame.
Never take responsibility.
We got a lot of very good advice so far today.
Thank you.
I think I've learned a lot.
That's what we strive for,
The first turret bonus gold back in effect again, by the way. So this Aurora, Castle is actually a monster. Castle is a truly frightening bunny.
Ooh, gonna be flash forced as Isles does get away, but that hurts, and it is tough to check brushes and play for vision when you are Lulu.
Is it like Rochambeau, loser has to go to that lane, or what's the deal now?
I think that's one of those things where you just show up to another lane and you ping assist to that lane.
Yo, somebody deal with that.
Come on, bros, learn your macro. I can't beat that guy.
Castle's level 12. He's got his second mask working on it here. We got Rift Herald. Rift Herald's getting cooked up, and it's on his side of the map. So
Castle's just getting greedy at this point. I mean, how many masks do you really need, right?
I guess the style of layering masks is truly unappreciated.
True. One for the front of your head, one for the back of your head.
I was thinking stack, just on top of each other.
I was thinking never catch them slipping kind of thing,
They're going to fight this, though. Look, they're walking in.
Yep, Lion going to be looking for the fight. Inspired goes in, but it's going to be secured there by Kryra. Lion's flashing out. Inspired taking some damage, but the ulti is buying him a lot of time. Kryra going to pop his ulti now. Callme coming in from the side, looking for Saint. Saint hits a 3-man petrifying gaze, but he's going to get knocked down for his troubles. And the Herald going to get summoned up. I mean, they tried to go in on this fight, but there's no TP on Dhokla, and he's bot, so it didn't really make any sense to me. Once the response is coming through from Callme, you're just cooked.
And since the Aurora is so fed, it's not even like a 5-on-4. That's like a 5.5-on-4. With the extra money bags being half of a person. Rift Herald going to get a lot of money down mid, too. They took out first tower, half of the second tower.
That's almost a 5K gold lead, and that is problematic to say the least here. I wasn't getting too excited about this because I thought there's no way they're going to engage with Dhokla bot, but maybe they thought Dhokla could mark the TP.
Yeah, they went straight for it. Inspired here, so he ults and actually creates a lot of time. I
think that was the call. Dhokla's like, I can cancel TP, you can 4v4.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. Not close enough, though. Callme got there in time. And Callme's flank meant a lot. He's on Saint, and, Saint... gets flanked there, so maybe with some comms listening, that must have been in the intent at least.
Oh, nice sidestep from Castle. Even with the slow from the Miasma, gonna be able to sidestep. The wind becomes lightning there from Inspired. And Kryra, we know how well Mundo scales. He's 1K up as well, so very far ahead. Callme's up 1K now. It is the full Thornmail as the second item, which is kind of interesting here. But I guess maybe he's thinking that Saint isn't going to be that big of a threat, so he doesn't feel like he needs to kind of go a different direction.
Yeah. Well, a lot of healing from Zin, there for Berserker as well. Decent amount since they've got a Lulu over here. Maybe he has to worry. I mean, they've got the power to walk wherever they want.
Yeah, they're just pushing straight on in, and Castle always has his TP available. As Dhokla gonna get his heart stolen as another proc does come down. Berserker is in the area. Castle pushing forward there onto Saint. Inspire gonna dash in onto Kryra, but he takes a shock blast to the face. He's low already. The Nami bubble gonna get flashed away from by Inspired. Survives for now, but again, LYON retreat here as Castle maybe just gonna burn down Saint, and he does. I thought he would have been able to walk away, but the dot damage there finishes him off, and they lose out on both sides of the map. It's now nearly, I mean, it's 5,500 gold. Only 18 minutes in.
Stacking up your mask items provides so much here, and the Riftmaker was also completed there for Castle, so feeling the power. And that is just going to be DSG ballooning their gold across the map. They have full control. Here's another look at the beginning of it. So Saint went in and took a tower, two tower shots.
That is not what you want to see.
2 tower shots. And then he pulls back, Aurora pulls back to Q, and it's still enough. Yeah,
I mean, it's tough when someone's that fed, but like you can't be going aggressive on the super fed guy under his tower. That's just a really bad death. You know, dying like that when you're already that far behind is really, really tough. Callme gonna be able to farm plates on the bot side, and I think LYON's hopes in this game are very quickly slipping away.
Yeah, people were ready to be like, ah. He was in the fed lane, but...
Oh, Castle gonna get dove here. Dhokla trying to start it off. Berserker focusing him down as Dhokla does tank up the tower, and they got the shutdown, goes on to Berserker. Hey, a little bit of hope. They get a bounty, maybe they can farm some plates.
There you go. And they want to leave them for Berserker, especially because it just gets tankier and tankier with multiple people around. Everybody just vacate the area. Let Berserker farm. This is the plan for LYON. Funnel as much as you can into the Zeri. He's got a Lulu to supercharge him. Pray for late.
He needs a lot of items, though. He needs, at the very least, the IE and the LDR. But they're going to try to lay a trap here for Callme. They were walking around into that alcove. If Callme pushes forward, could be in trouble. Doesn't look like he will. So, buy time. Berserker needs probably 4 items, and then maybe you can make something happen at that point. But, of course, it is very difficult to get there when you're already this far behind. DSG, at least thankfully for them, didn't stack early dragons, so that does buy them more time, right? You know, you can afford to give up the next one in 4 minutes, try to play for the one after that. So you have like, you know, 9-10 minutes before maybe you absolutely have to fight. And I think the idea is just try to get Berserker as rich as possible before then, see what happens.
Yeah, and then you also are going to have to remember the poke we were talking about. Like, it's right now when you've got Jayce as well as Lucian looking for lots of exchanges. I think it is going to be hard for LYON to just like stay healthy on the map.
Let's solve one problem at a time here, buddy. We're getting ahead of ourselves, you know?
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
I'm trying to work on this sprained ankle. You don't have to remind me that my arm is broken, okay?
True.
We're going to focus on small problems here.
Only what is immediately bleeding right now.
Yeah. That's everything.
It is gonna mean, you know, Sajed should have a lot of early pushes on mid lane. Is gonna do that. Side lanes here for Castle. Similar kind of stories. Dhokla, though, actually doing quite well for himself, able to get that push in. Kanik Rookern, quite nice to be able to use that large, you know, extra shield to go in and push a minion wave during the timer, back off, and get the reset for it.
Funny enough, Dhokla was ever so slightly ahead in XP as well. Of Castle, which is actually pretty surprising to me. You know, just a little bit, like he's like a wave ahead in experience, but I would have thought he'd be pretty behind in this situation. DSG going to be starting off the Baron. Definitely don't want to mess with that once he gets spotted, as they are just going to back it up. That would be one of the ways they could potentially throw. Callme up a couple levels here onto Saint, though. Castle, nice chunk onto Isles. Will send him packing, and that's some of the poke that you were talking about.
Yeah, so many angles you gotta keep your eyes on here, because all of your outer towers dropping really early on in the game just gives so many options to DSG. They need to move their ward line up a little bit. Everybody online trying to retake vision. There still is a nice little regular trinket ward there through the blue buff that does not get spotted, so they'll remain with some. Bottom side as well, Castle has his teleport, so push it away, get your bottom leverage going early. Kryra,
They're gonna be slapping
friendly
him up.
tank slap.
But that one goes in the favor of Mundo because you get a heart steal.
Exactly. I was going to say, you hear that noise?
That sound is just crazy dopamine. I'm not going to lie. Riot cooked with that one. That's a good sound for sure. LYON going to bully their way in, though. We'll see how many kills they can get here, if any. The CC going to be stacked over onto Mundo, but he is way too tanky for that. Castle going to arrive. Dhokla going in aggressively. Isles could be in some trouble on the other side. Inspire getting incredibly low. Flashes back over into Kryra, but he's just not going down fast enough. And now LYON are caught between the tower and a really hard place. Sajed wants to chase for more. Kryra trying to get the slowdown. Saint trying to turn here. Are they going to be able to knock him down? Great turn from Saint, and Berserker does get them the kill. But can Berserker make the magic happen? He has got to run. Castle's coming. Callme's coming. He slides over the wall, but falls to the burn from Castle. And now that is going to give them the Baron.
They are cooked. They're like chasing the Mundo all the way in there. And that play took so long that by the time they go for the flash engage onto Callme, onto the Jayce, like the rest of DSG have arrived. And so after that win, you know, free Baron wrapped up. The gold lead was already 7.5K before Baron. After Baron gets taken, as they're waiting for the revive here, they give it over to Sajed as well, so they can all be matching when they go and they march on the LYON base. But yeah, LYON, they're feeling pretty desperate, you know, going for this chase here. The teleport you see channeled from Aurora, and then they're kind of backing out. They go for the flash play over here. They do not, you know, even get like a good angle on Callme there. Callme had a good flash on Jayce. And so they're just, you know, they're cooked here. Sajed on the bomb side with the culling, just flanking them as well. Mundo shrugs all of this off. This was a little, I like the health bar bouncing back and forth. You know, you see the little Nami healing. They're trying to keep him up, pouring everything into him. And, you know, at least they get the kill on Sajed, which caused Berserker to go for the fist bump emote mid-fight.
Do you see that no one bumped him back?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
sad.
they were all dead too. They had plenty of time.
They had plenty of time. They considered it, and they decided no.
They're
I'm
like,
not going to fist bump him.
It's not funny. Yeah, we got one kill. All right.
Saint with at least a good attempt on the turn. You know, it does get them the kill on Sajed, but Saint going to be sent packing here as Dhokla comes in to try to keep him alive. Isles in a lot of trouble. Isles might just burn down. We'll see if he can survive. Looks like he just barely will be able to. But the pressure is unrelenting. It's nearly a 10,000 gold lead for DSG now, as it looks like they are just running away with this one. I think LYON have very few hopes, if any, at this point.
Yeah, the base is crumbling around them, so maybe, you know, try and make a play towards the like Callme or something with no flash, but I guess they're just getting pressured too heavily on both sides. This 4-pack just looks like there's nothing you do here. Mundo is just infinitely spamming front line. He's level 16 now, so you get giga tankiness out of your ultimate, but they can't do much mid either. The Jayce and the Aurora finish up that inhibitor, and they're coming for number 2.
Another shock blast going to connect there onto Inspired. Castle threatening, just hopping forward. And Saint trying to do his best to defend. LYON clearly has one plan, and that is, you know what? It's still the same thing. Stall, try to get Berserker as many items as possible. Hope you can get to an IE. Hope they can make some mistakes, and maybe you can make something happen as a result. But it is going to be incredibly hard. I like the Serpent's Fang picked up there for Callme. Going to help a lot against all the shields that Isles is pouring out. And DSG are going to be able to move themselves to Soul Point here. So LYON, if they weren't already on the clock, they definitely are now. Going to have to be ready to fight here in, you know, in just about 5 minutes, but they are so far behind.
All right, 5 minutes are on the clock, but honestly, see, even Baron's a little earlier than that, so maybe it's only 3 minutes on the clock, and DSG just goes straight to the next one, because the next Baron probably gives you enough. Honestly, maybe this is going to end the game before that. You've got 2 lines of super minions. So the question really is, can LYON hold out until DSG and force them to attempt Baron and then go for like an ace when they're in the Baron pit or something?
Yeah, we'll find out. Berserker basing from that bot side. And little update. So if LYON do in fact lose this, they are hoping for a dig win, which would put them in 5th and get them into playoffs. If Shopify win, then LYON has to play a tiebreaker against them to even get into playoffs. So they become fans of Dignitas if they do in fact lose this game, as we are expecting. And the Super Minions pushing in through bot, but a couple waves that they do have until those arrive, and that's going to be where they do look, as Castle trying to go aggressive on a Saint, can't quite find it. Kryra at level 16 now, massive spike for Mundo, and he is not threatened at all by a 2-item Saint. He's just moving on in and looking to try to put the finishing touches on this one.
He's going where he pleases and taunting. inside their base. And he knows they can't do it.
Oh, man, and we're going to get to hear from him after this game, assuming they win, as a big shock place lands again. Dhokla getting knocked low. Kryra's just running straight past the tower. Throws a cleaver and tags Berserker. He is feeling himself right now. We'll see if they can punish anything. Berserker getting incredibly low. Wild Growth has to come out as there is the culling used. They're trying to knock down the Aurora. Can Castle get out? He jumps back to the other side. He does get shut down. Have DSG overstayed. Saint with the Ghost Pop trying to chase after Kryra. Does still have his ulti, and Sajed gonna dash back in, and now Kryra pops the ulti. He goes aggressive. Saint flashes out, trying to survive as Inspired's in the backline looking for Sajed. He can't quite get him. Sajed barely survives. Kryra's under the tower. He's looking to do it all himself, but he gets thrown into the polymorph. Berserker has to find an angle to try to kill off Sajed, but Callme has arrived, and he's going aggressive. He knocks down one, flashes in. That's the exclamation point on an incredible series from DSG. They're going to playoffs. They're knocking down LYON. And Kryra is taking out Inspired in his LCS debut.
Woo! Callme and LCS Lock-in's playoffs team right here. DSG have qualified. Who is your player of the game from that game? Huge stuff coming up here from DSG, taking down LYON.
That was incredible. Lounge, who's the Pog?
Pog is up for debate, but congratulations, DSG, for the first time in history. The guest team will qualify for playoffs. DSG, welcome to the lock-in brackets.
And I have to say, I have to call all of us out, including myself. I don't think anyone had DSG out of bottom two on the entire broadcast.
We didn't show.
Yeah.
We didn't show the predictions, but I'm pretty sure we had it like a clean 2-0 for LYON.
I had 2-1 LYON.
You had 2-1?
Yeah.
Okay, but guess who's walking over? Guess who's coming on over? It's Kryra. Idol giving him a few words of advice or something, just saying something. But no, that's incredible. By the way, this was the team that we had questions about coordination because A, they didn't have Kryra based off Visa. B, they had to completely change their lineup because 3 of the players went to Sentinels. And none of these players had prior experience with each other. So like there was a